Okay, so the first step on this slide, we are going to do some things that will help you see more of the interface on one screen. So the more that you have to scroll horizontally, left and right, or up and down on your tracks to see the interface, the less efficient you're going to be. So I'm going to show you some different things you can do to make it so you can see as much as possible on your tracks at one time. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, so one of the things that we've probably already talked about is just making sure that you're zoomed out. So when the more you're zoomed in, the more you're going to have to scroll left and right to see your clips on your track. I typically like to be zoomed. I don't like to be zoomed all the way out because that's just too tiny. But usually I only will go in like a few clips, a few clicks, and that's about as far as I zoom in, unless I have to do some fine tuning. And then sometimes I'll zoom way in, I'll edit it, and then I'll zoom back out. The other thing you can do, I actually already did this, but your track heights right now are probably all set at regular. You're going to want to change all of those to small. I know at first it'll seem like it's too small, but you'll get used to it. So go over to each one of your tracks, click those three dots right there, go to change track height, and change them all to small. You can also edit in full screen, which kind of opens up all of this and enlarges the interface for you. So to do that, there is a keyboard shortcut. I got to remind myself what it is. But you'll go to those three lines. I don't know why it says exit full screen. Sometimes WeVideo does that. But yours should say maybe edit in full screen or something about full screen. And you can see here that that really opens up your interface. And then the other thing you can do is if you hover over this blue line right here, you can also drag that to make your interface a little bit smaller. Again, I prefer to see as much as my tracks as possible in one screen. Okay, now we're going to move on to step 2. We're going to add an image or video onto the track directly behind the image from our previous slide. So I'm going to do a video, and I'm just going to go ahead and choose a random one. I think I'm going to choose this tiger. If you guys need to, you can pause me right now until you find your image or video. Don't spend too much time on it, maybe a minute. Find the image or video you want. You can pause me and then come back. But once you find it, you are going to drag and drop it and butt it up directly behind your image from the previous slide on the same track. Mine was on text 1 track, so I'm going to stick on text 1 track. Okay, now we're going to add a transition between those two. Okay, sorry guys, I had to pause the last video, so hopefully I'm picking up where I left off. So we added in our, our second clip here. Now we're going to add a transition between the two. If you'll recall, transition is just an effect that takes place when you transition or go from one clip to the next. So go ahead and go to transitions, click around on them, see which one you like. Don't spend too much time on it. You can pause me if you need to. Once you find the one you like, come back to me. And let's say you're going to choose this wipe down transition here. When you go to add it, you're just going to click and drag it. And you have to place a transition either at the end of a clip, at the beginning of a clip, or between two clips. So notice anytime you go to place a clip in the track, if it turns red like this, that means you can't drop it there. You can't drop this transition here because there's nothing to attach it to. Technically, I could add it to the end of this clip. See how it turns green? Or I could add it to the beginning of a clip or between two clips. Now, here's the thing. Kind of have a love-hate relationship with transitions because transition by default, I believe it takes up 1 second of time. And because it has to attach to the back of a clip or the front of a clip or between two, when it attaches, it actually takes up some of that clip. So the reason why I say I have a love-hate, I like them because they're cool, but they can really affect your timing. So I had it all timed up perfectly here. But notice when I attached it, this clip is now a little shorter. So let's see if it really affects the my video much. So when I hit play, it did. Notice how those labels were still on the screen when the transition took place. So, oopsie, whatever. So here at this point, notice that those labels are now where the tiger is. That's not good. You don't want that. So what I have learned to do over time is I will build in extra time at the ends of my clips before I attach my transition. So in this case, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to move this guy back. I'm going to extend this clip, and then I'm going to add my transition. That way it won't mess up the timing of my video. And then I'll go ahead and close this off. Okay, once you have added in your transition, I believe, yep, you're just going to go ahead and save it, and that's it for this tutorial. So make sure you save.